Okay. We are ready. Charles, shall I go?
Yes,
Welcome to tonight's Licensed Subcommittee meeting. My name is Councillor Macy Ume, and I'll be chairing tonight's meeting. The meeting is being broadcast live on Council's YouTube channel. If I lose connection and cannot reconnect, Councillor Wesley Hackett will take over for me. I would like to remind all participants a few housekeeping points. Please keep your microphone muted unless you are speaking at the hearing. Please keep your camera turned on when you speak at the hearing. Please note that the chat function has been disabled. If parties wish to add any additional information other than the allocated time to speak, they must use raise hand function so that they are not missed. I also ask that members keep their questions and comments brief to the point. Now we move to item 1 on agenda. Item 1, apologies for absence, none was received. Item 2, declaration of interest. Do members have any declaration of interest?
No, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Item 3, Amigos, Burgers and Shakers, 352 North End Road, London, SW6 1NB. I would like to ask everyone participating to introduce yourself as I call on you. We should have with us Mr. Kane. That is the Ventures, Prima Ventures Limited, the applicant. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Where are you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, I can see you, the applicant. We have Lona McKen, the licensing officer. We have Lona here.
Yes, present, Chair.
We have Gaeta here, legal advisor.
Good evening, Present Chair.
Thank you. We have responsible authorities in objection. So we have Edwin Overtime, the licensing manager.
Present. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. We have John Garcia, noise and nuisance investigator. John? Thank you. We have residents objecting. We have Jan, local resident. Jan? You are here?
Yes. Yeah, Chair, I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Gabriele, local resident. We have Paula De Cruz. Paula? Paula?
Not on the call.
Okay. You have Kampa, local resident. Surname Kampa, Mr. Kampa?
Not on the call, Chair.
You have Antonia, local resident. Yeah, I can see you. Thank you. We have Rose, local resident. Thank you, Rose. We have Lucy. Lucy? She's not here yet. We have Rose again. Rose, you are representing the neighborhood as well, Neighborhood Watch. Yes. Okay, we have Mr. Graffi, local resident. Is he here? Okay. And lastly, we have Mr. The last person that spoke a minute ago, his name is Paula. He put name as Paula. Is he here? Okay.
Just rejoining, Chair. He's here. He's just rejoining.
Okay. Okay. Now we have Charlotte Dexter. And Charlotte Dexter is representing Berkeley Road Neighborhood Watch. Representing Eastman, Mr. Eastman, local resident. Charlie, local resident. Catherine, local resident. Andrea, local resident. Valeria, local resident. Robert, local resident. Sean, local resident. Sarah, local resident. John, local resident. Amanda, local resident. Is that representing 9 people, Charlotte? Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. And Rose is representing other people as well, just so you know.
Rose. Rose. I'm looking for Rose.
Lorna could help out with that, if I may suggest.
Don't worry when we get to that. We
Yes.
have.
Sorry, do you want me to confirm, Chair, who she's representing?
Okay, please.
Yes, she should have that she is representing herself, then the Neighbourhood Watch, Lucy Taylor and Bahar Ghaffari.
Yeah, that's why I said that. Lucy Taylor and
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and the local residents as well. Yeah.
Yes, that's correct, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. We have ward councillors here. We have Councillor Wobo here, the ward councillor. We have Councillor Sam Kelly here for Walham Green, and Councillor Sam Kelly is representing Councillor Penta, who is the Lily Ward, and they are representing Christian local residents. Is that correct? Thank you. Okay. Before we consider the application today, may I confirm that in addition to the main agenda, supplementary agendas A and B were published on 23rd of June, 2026, and supplementary agenda C and D were published on 24th June, 2026. Did everybody get that agenda? And can I ask whether Mr. Ken, the applicant, whether you received, have you been able to read those information on those agenda?
Yes, I am.
You got them and you read them?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that. Okay. So I'll quickly explain the procedure the committee will follow. We will hear from the following. The licensing officer will introduce the application. The responsible authorities will introduce objectors, ward councillors, and finally the applicants. Okay. Usually each party will address committee for a maximum of 5 minutes. Following the presentation by all parties, the committee may ask questions of any party or other person present at the hearing, except committee members. No party has the right to ask questions to any other party at the hearing during hearing. Following the presentation and questioning, each party will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to sum up their cases or representation. The committee will then retire for deliberation. Upon its return, I will announce committee's decision. Therefore, there have been a considerable number of speakers tonight. The committee has read written representation before the meeting. It will be appreciated by all parties if you could summarize your concerns, avoid repetition of other speakers, and be concise as possible, please. Now, can I ask presenting officer Lorna to present the case?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So on the 8th of April 2026, the licensing authority received a valid application for a new premises licence in respect of Amigos Burgers and Shakes, 352 North End Road, London, SW6 1MB, which was submitted on behalf of Premier Ventures Limited, the applicant. The applicant had applied for a new premises licence for late night refreshment as follows. Late night refreshment from Monday to Sunday from 11 p.m. till 2 a.m. with the premises opening hours to the public Monday to Sunday from 11 a.m. till 2 a.m. On the 5th of May, following correspondence with the Metropolitan Police licensing team, the applicant agreed to amend the opening hours of the premises and hours for late night refreshment as follows. So Sunday to Thursdays would be from 11 p.m. till 1 a.m. and Fridays and Saturdays 11 p.m. till 2 a.m. with the premises opening hours to customers being amended from Monday to Sunday from 11 a.m. till midnight and takeaway by delivery only from the hours of Sunday to Thursday from midnight till 1 a.m. and Friday and Saturday midnight till 2 a.m. The applicant also agreed during the consultation period to add 18 conditions to their premises licence if the application is granted this evening, which can be seen in Appendix 2 of this report. The licensing section received 51 representations during the consultation period, all objecting to the grant of the variation application made up from the licensing authority, noise and nuisance officers, local councillors, local neighbourhood watch groups and local residents, as well as the food safety team. But on the 9th of June 2026, following a re-inspection at the premises, the food and safety team for the council withdrew their objection. I can also confirm, in addition to the main agenda, supplementary agendas item A, B, C and D have all been circulated to all parties. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Lorna. Now, responsible authority in objection, can I ask Edrin, licensing manager, you have 5 minutes to present your case.
Thank you, Chair. The licensing authority has made a representation to this application, primarily on the basis that the current proposed hours are contrary to the suggested hours in the Council's current Statement of Licensing Policy 2022 to 2027. From looking at the roads surrounding this premises, it's clear that it is located in a mixed-use area. And even with the reduction in hours, which have been outlined by Lorna previously and have been agreed with the police, the revised hours would still mean that the premises was operating in excess of the hours currently set out in our policy, which for clarity are midnight midnight Friday and Saturday and 11:30 every other day of the week. Just by way of background, the proposed hours outlined in our policy for late night refreshment are more restrictive when compared to restaurants or cinemas, for example, as there is an acknowledgement when devising the policy that there is a higher turnover of customers from premises which offer food deliveries, and in turn there is a higher chance of disturbance for residents at these type of premises. The nature of this business would also mean that delivery riders would be coming and going from the premises throughout the night until the early hours of the morning, which can cause issues with engine noise and noise from riders themselves as they pick up their orders and have conversations with other riders. On occasion, it is true that we have also seen more serious issues with riders blocking the pavement or acting in an intimidating or obstructive manner towards residents and others, which can be difficult for the licence holder to try and control that issue. Even with a very well managed business, the late night operation of a premises like this would almost certainly have an adverse impact on the residents in the area who would be trying to sleep or otherwise enjoy their homes at the time that the licensable activities are being proposed. And therefore, with this in mind, we believe that the application should be limited to the hours which are clearly set out in the Council Statement of Licensing Policy for mixed use areas to help promote the prevention of public nuisance licensing objective. I don't have any other comments at this stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Edrin. We have our noise and nuisance investigator. Can I ask John? You have 5 minutes to do your presentation.
Okay,
John?
thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. I'm John Garcia on behalf of the Noise and Nuisance team. I objected the application the 17th of April. On the 29th of April, I received an email from the applicant telling me that or challenging me objection. As I didn't see or I didn't consider that we could suggest any mitigation plan apart of finishing at the standard hours, 23 hours. We stopped in our, we keep our objection, basically on base of public, prevention of public nuisance. To make that decision, I have checked the amount of complaints that we have received, especially in the last year. We received 309 complaints, noise complaints in Northern Road. Most of them, I can say, are regarding commercial premises. I can name some complaints like deliveries after hours, after 11 p.m., smoke and AC units, noise and nuisance from the extractor fans, and all of them occurring after permitted hours or during sleeping time. We have also complaints from premises, alarms, works in the street, and other music complaints from pubs and some of them from the chicken shops or other commercial premises. There are residential also. I would like to highlight that our decision is based on the residential premises which are located above, in front or beyond the applicant or amigos, this case. Our main concern are the noise after 11 p.m., like customers' arrivals, deliveries, waiting and dispersal, parking the cars, engines of the cars on and off, radio music from the cars while they wait for the deliveries, extractor fan operating after hours. It means if they carry on working until 2 o'clock in the morning, the extractor fan AC units are going to be on. That is going to cause a major problem to the neighboring premises as well. When we receive for our own experience, when we receive this kind of complaints about extractor fan or AC units, it takes several weeks for us to be able to sort out the problem. We need to give to the premises or to the person who is causing the nuisance enough time for them to sort it out. It means if we receive complaints about the units or the extractor fan, the people who lives nearby is going to have a lot of sleep deprivation. Our main concerns are also cleaning activities, closing, opening the premises, staff in the courtyard, empty the bins, moving the rubbish from inside to outside, and the staff leaving the premises late at night, closing the shutters or doors. Although the applicant proposed some mitigation plan and some condition has been agreed with the police regarding public disorder and public nuisance, I strongly believe that all of those are not enough to prevent the nuisance. My recommendation at this stage is the only way to mitigate the noise or nuisance is to keep the hours of operation, meaning that it doesn't go beyond 23 hours. That's it from me for now.
Thank you. Thank you, John. Okay, now we have residents in objection. Can I have Jan? You have 5 minutes to present your case.
Thank you, Chair. I live at 348 North End Road, so just next to the premises. And my main concerns are about, so I witness very often rubbish and leftover food spilled on the street. So my entrance is on Charles Road as well, and so I also have I see often people sitting on the step in front of the door and eating food, and then I find the leftover food there. I've also found a delivery rider moped or scooter leaning against my vehicle. I also suffer from the noise from delivery drivers. When there are delivery trucks, it's also extremely noisy. And at the moment, I know Popeyes, that's another restaurant. They have their deliveries at midnight, and that's a huge problem to sleep. So I wouldn't want that to become the norm for all the restaurants around the area. There's a lot of noise from the extractor vent, the AC unit, and there's a smell from the extraction vent as well. And it's a big problem on days like the last few days where we need to have the windows open to be able to sleep, to get some fresh air. And if we have extended opening hours, we'll suffer from the noise, so won't be able to open the windows, and so that's a big concern for me. So my issue that I don't want those nuisances to carry on at night. I think residents, as it was mentioned, it's a very residential area, and I think we have the right to sleep and to have peace and quiet, during night time. So these are examples of things that I witness on a daily basis, and that's the reason mainly I made a representation, and I want to object to the application. I also remember there was an application done, I think, less than a year ago, very similar by the applicant. And to me, I haven't seen any, and that was refused at the time by the council. And since then, I haven't seen any changes in the area in terms of nuisances. So it didn't get any better. So that's why I still object today.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we have Gabriele. You have 5 minutes to present your case. Miss Gabriel, are you here? She's not here. Okay, we have Paula de Cruz. You have 5 minutes. Is Paula here?
Not on the call, Chair.
Okay. Okay. We have Mr. Campa. Miss Campa.
Not on the call, Chair. The next person that is on the call is Antoinette Horn.
Okay, Antoinette, you have 5 minutes. Hello?
You're muted at the moment.
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to unmute. Apologies. I live on Tournai. Well, my husband and I, we live on Tournai Road, and we suffer basically from similar events. It's the noise of the vehicles, the drivers, the delivery drivers, the noise of them talking, and again in these summer hours when everyone has their windows open, the worst thing is being woken if you've gone to bed, and then it's very hard to get back to sleep. It's the delivery vehicles again. It is a highly dense residential area, both on North End Road, the apartments above the shops and commercial businesses, and like us down the side streets with families. And we've lived here for a long time, and constantly we have people making applications to extend their hours, and I just don't think it's fair. Also, if I'm coming in from an evening, having been out, I don't feel safe when there's a lot of activity around and drivers. They can be intimidating. So yeah, I think that's it, without trying to duplicate too much.
Thank you, Antoinette. That's really great. Thanks. And we have Rose, Rose, you have 20 minutes. Rose, are you there? You are speaking on behalf of Lucy. No, Rose?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, you have 20 minutes, because you are speaking on behalf of Lucy.
Yes.
Yeah. You are speaking on behalf of Mr. Graffer.
That's right.
And you are speaking on behalf of the neighborhood watch people.
That's correct, yeah.
So that allows you 20 minutes, huh? So.
Well, okay. And because I'm speaking on behalf of the group, I probably will take a little bit longer, so bear with me.
That's why I said you have 20 minutes.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay.
I'm, as you've said, and I will acknowledge, I'm the neighbourhood watch coordinator for Paris Road, Paris Mews, and Piedmont Walk. And I'm speaking on behalf of 122 households in this 100% residential enclave directly off the North End Road. I just wanted to start by saying that I attended the appeal court regarding the 312-314 North End Road every single day last February, because residents felt they had no choice but to defend their homes and their sleep by being present in person. We were advised to make sure as many of the 168 people who made representations back in May should come and observe the magistrate's careful consideration of Hammersmith and Fulham's evidence. It was a rare opportunity to observe Hammersmith and Fulham defending its decision, and this committee's decision to refuse longer hours at the address, which is not far from obviously Amigos, which is only 2 streets away. During that case, the leader of the council, Stephen Cowan, publicly stated under oath that late-night trading in this area would, quote, cause further harm, and that residents, quote, have a right to expect peace and quiet at night. Magistrates and the residents attending took those assurances of Leader Cowan very, very seriously. And it's the same residents who are now facing yet another late-night application here tonight. 51 of us made representations. Right, throughout my comments today, I'm going to try and be referencing Hammersmith and Fulham's latest statement of licensing policy, the 22 to 27 one. And I'll mention various policy numbers within the SLP, and I'll mention page numbers. I've got 6 points, and I'll try and be as quick as I can. My first point is that this is a residential area. And policy 3 of the SLP, page 20 and 21, says late night takeaways are not appropriate here because people live right above these shops and in the narrow alleyways, the Mews, which I represent, behind North End Road, and in the residential roads stemming right off North End Road to the Clemertley and the Peabody Estate. That's thousands of homes, households, people, residents, and constituents. This is a densely residential area, and it's almost 4 times the national average, evidenced in the Hammersmith and Fulham ward profiles for Lily Ward and Walham Green. You can just see how dense it is if you just take a walk down the streets around Amigos and the North End Road itself. In the dark hours or the early evening, every window above a shop has a light on. Every doorway leads to a flat. Every alleyway backs onto converted homes and flats. These are old but beautiful Victorian buildings, but many still have thin walls and little or no insulation. Noise and smells travel straight into people's homes. When you live here, you hear everything. The engines, the voices, the banging of mopeds, it all comes straight through. And around 10 o'clock or 11 p.m. at night, even small noises can wake people up, especially children. And it's not because people are sensitive, it's because we have old buildings, really, and most have single pane windows. Residents already deal with late night noise from food premises and delivery drivers. That's engines running, people talking loudly, and activity after 2300 hours into the early morning hours. The pavements get blocked, and women and girls walking home late at night feel unsafe, weaving between groups of riders, some of them masked. This is not a market street with mixed-use buildings with offices above the shops. Exactly this point was made and accepted by the magistrates in May. In the case with Amigos, we have a densely residential area with 7 shops between Shorrolds Road and Paris Road, and far more residents than shops above. A mixed-use building with only shops at street level. It is a residential area, and with a traditional daytime market and shops at street level. A residential neighbourhood with families, older residents, shift workers, and children trying to sleep. So again, on page 20 of the SLP, policy 3 is very clear. Late night takeaways are not considered appropriate in residential areas. In licensing terms and planning terms, that means after 2300 hours. And the council's own local plan reinforces this. Policy TLC 5A says premises, and I'm quoting, shall not be open later than 2300 hours, except in predominantly commercial areas. This stretch of the North End Road is not predominantly commercial. It's mixed-use, densely residential, above, behind, all around. So for us, the 2300 hours is the correct terminal hour. Well, what's the evidence? The evidence for this in the Hammersmith and Fulham local plan, pages 132 to 135, which we submitted in the supplemental C, explaining that the committee must now take local plans into consideration based on the new S182 guidance. Another resident will probably be able to speak a little bit more on this point as I do the research. I'm trying to keep up with it all. My second point is about cumulative stress. Around here, the cumulative stress, the cumulative impact is now severe. And on page 22, Policy 4 warns about exactly this in its first sentence. And it gives you, the subcommittee, the power to deal with it. Policy clearly states on page 22, and I quote, Policy 4, cumulative impact. The licensing authority will have regard to cumulative impact, generally during the duration of this policy. And it goes on. Policy 4 goes on to state, the representations may be made, I quote, on the grounds that the premises will have a negative cumulative impact on the area in question, on one or more of the four licensing objectives. That's the end of the quote on page 22. And these applications are not a one-off, it's a pattern. In a very short space of time, takeaways have pushed for longer hours. In 2025, it was Wendy's, Fishy Delishy, Casper's, McDonald's, and then Amigos for the first time. Amigos was in October last year. This year, it's KFC, Amigos again, Select Chicken, The Co-op, Vanston Cafe, and Morley's, and they're all asking for extra hours that will all add to the cumulative stress, the cumulative impact, the negative impact on our highly residential neighbourhood. For residents, it feels like the applications never stop. As soon as one is validated, another arrives. Since the cumulative impact zones were allowed to lapse in 2022, we need to work harder to protect residents, and the committee needs to embrace its own policy to protect our highly residential streets from this sort of pressure. Policy 3, page 20 says, even well-run premises can collectively create unacceptable disturbance, and that's actually been our experience. I quote from Policy 3 on page 20.
Please, Rose, please, can I stop you? A lot of quoting. We have read all those things. We know our policy. We know our plans. Please, it's no need repeating it to us. And can I ask people, please do not repeat the McDonald's and all those things. We are dealing with Amigo tonight. So let's concentrate on that.
I understand that.
I know, but you are pointing at all those ones, and we are not looking at those ones. We are looking at Amigo. Please.
Okay.
Can our legal advisor help me out here?
Pardon?
No, I'm asking our legal.
Hi. Yes, we are considering Amigo's application, and each application will be considered on its own merits. So any reference to a McDonald's application, maybe it's not relevant for this application, but I see your point, what you are trying to say, Rose. And in relation to the policy, it's nice if you can point out, for my benefit, the policies numbered by the members are aware of the policy. There is no need to quote the entire policy and what they say. Maybe if you refer to policy 3, like you said, and what page, and the committee will consider that. Okay. Just because of the large number of people attending tonight. So we are just trying to...
I appreciate that, but I have a big responsibility too, because I am representing a lot of people on the street. So bear with me. I'm not...
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, what we're trying to say that the policy, the members are aware with the policy. Maybe if you can quote the policy number and the page, and the members, when they deliberate, they can take your points on board.
Okay, well, then policy 3, page 21.
Thank you.
And the local plan of 2018 supports all of this anyway, but I'll move on, as you seem not, and I've lost my chain of thought. It's the, I was just going to say, and it's very important to say this very clearly. One third-party delivery driver from Amigos on his own may cause only a bit of nuisance, but it's the combined volume, the cumulative stress, the cumulative impact of riders from multiple operators, all using the same crowded stretch of North End Road with no real parking and narrow pavements, and then speeding off using our straight roads to get further afield. This simply isn't the space for this level of activity. This is the cumulative effect, and people are exhausted. And there is a growing sense of frustration, even anger, that the council, and forgive me for saying this, don't seem to want to step in and help. There was great hope on the doorstep when campaigners had us sign peace and quiet petitions sponsored by Councillor Holder and Payton, because we do need peace and quiet. And then that just seems to have disappeared. My third point actually is about enforcement and it's unreliable. And I'm talking about police enforcement. There's no police presence here unless they respond to a 999 call, and the response times are inconsistent. Many calls aren't attended, or they're attended too late to help. Every 8 weeks, our local police walk the streets until 8 p.m. as a neighbourhood exercise. We've asked them at the ward panel meetings to try and do a stint until 10, but every 6 to 8 weeks is not enough. But having said that, they're trying to help, so we should be grateful. And then we have the LET team. They don't have the powers to deal with this kind of nuisance. They are, in fact, instructed to just ring 999 themselves if potential crime or significant nuisance is the risk. And the younger members of the community know this, and they can be so disrespectful to residents and to the LET team themselves. Magistrates at one time saw this on the video, and it was frightening. Because of this, many residents have stopped reporting incidents now. So, you don't have the proper official figures. I do try and persuade people to do it, but they don't always. Our residents have seen delivery drivers using Epirus Road, and Epirus Mews as a toilet late in the night. And we've witnessed drug dealing and antisocial behaviour there. Am I putting this at the hands of amigos? Maybe not, but again, it's the cumulative effect and people being attracted later at night. And my fourth point is that the applicant...
Can I allow you 2 extra minutes because you have exceeded your 20 minutes? You know that.
What?
Yeah, you have.
Okay.
Excuse me, she started at 1901. I'm sorry, but...
Yeah.
Charles, are you... Charles?
Yeah, sorry, she has another 5 minutes left.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 5 more minutes.
Okay. Right, so you've thrown me a bit. My fourth point really is that the applicant hasn't met policy 1 of the SLP on page 18, because where is the evidence of risk assessment? I know the police stepped in and helped him, but, that doesn't stop. Anyway, my fifth point is about so-called suggested hours. The applicant doesn't refer to the council's suggested closing times, and I emphasise the word suggested here. It is a time above the box on page 21, and it states in full, to act as a guide for new and you know what it says. I repeat those words, quote, suggested closing times, because the word suggested in this context surely means when all is well. These hours might be used, but suggested can't possibly mean that they're set in stone, and especially later hours can be considered when there are other issues. Oh dear. And in residential areas, late night takeaways are not considered appropriate. This is clear on the box of 22. The hours that amigos want are just far beyond all of these recommended hours. The original operating schedule was generic and it didn't address the risks of this particular location. The detailed conditions only appeared later, and that was after police intervention. That doesn't meet the requirements of Policy 1. And basically, these conditions don't solve the main problem. The delivery drivers aren't employed by the premises. They're independent contractors. The business can't control any third-party provider. Signs and notices won't stop engines idling or drivers gathering under people's windows at 1 or 2 in the morning. Policy 14 on page 32, as you know, recognises this. Residents also remember what Stephen Cowan did promise, that extending later hours would, and I quote, cause further harm and, quote again, disturbing problems to continue into the early morning when residents expect to sleep. My sixth and final point is this simply the wrong location for late night trading. The hours Amigos is asking for is not suitable for our densely residential Victorian area. And granting this license, and I know you're aware of this, but I'm saying it, would increase noise, disturbance, and antisocial behavior at times when people are trying to sleep. And under Policy 4 of the Statement's licensing policy, the subcommittee must consider this evidence. You know, we have 51 residents who've provided genuine concerns. They're clear, consistent, first-hand evidence. This is real lived evidence from the people directly affected. Amigos now closes at 2300, and the residents ask that this stays the terminal hour. For all these reasons, and in line with the Council's own policy and the latest editions of the S182 guidance, on behalf of Epirus Road, Epirus Mews and Piedmont Walk residents, I respectfully ask the committee to refuse this application. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you so much. Yeah. Can I ask Mr. Sharon? 5 minutes? 5 minutes.
You are on mute. I'm sorry, you are on mute.
We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Technology. I'll catch up with it one day. I'm sorry. I apologize for
No,
my
you're doing well.
extreme lack of knowledge.
You know, you are doing
However,
well. You are doing well.
thank you. Basically, from what I was saying, well, I've been listening to others, and I do echo whatever they've said, all the concerns. You can well imagine, because it basically resonates with my own experiences as a resident in Anhalden. Also, I was a restaurant owner for 21 years in Surrey, and it was a highly residential area, and we used to get this consent, though we used to only finish at 11. And people were still concerned. People were getting out. When people are drunk or inebriated, they do not realize they're actually talking at the top of their voice. They laugh, and they're less ordinary. They're less orderly. But it's not just that. The drivers are. I mean, I've noticed them at the end of the. I don't mean to talk about McDonald's, but there are. They're not just basically. They're not only delivering for McDonald's. They're delivering for other people, and they park their bikes there, and they shout, they joke on the phone, smoke. A lot of other stuff other than cigarettes, and you can smell it if you pass by. They basically it's like antisocial behavior at times, like 3, 4. We usually have a lot of kids passing through. They do visit these establishments, and as it stands, they close at 11. Imagine when they go on to like 1 a.m. It's just going to exacerbate that effect alone. People as general, I'm sure. I'm of an age. I'm old. I've noticed. I'm 64. Don't shake your head.
You are not old. You are not old.
Thank you. I've lived through 70s, 80s, 90s. People's respect for each other and the law is not as much as it was even a decade ago. So you can only imagine when you actually increase the hours, having been in the trade, people have less respect for others. They think they work hard, they've gone out one evening, enjoyed themselves, have a drink, they want to have a bit of a meal, and you being a pain just telling them to keep quiet because you want to have a sleep in your own home. So these are my concerns, not just every other place. I mean, end of the day, they all accumulate, and they're only closing at 11. I was when the application came through, I was horrified. 1 a.m. I mean, it's overly. I mean, can you imagine by the time they close on everything, they're going to get out there, they're going to be like 1:32, they're just going to hover around the area forever. I can only well imagine if a lady's coming from the station, it's just going to be a little bit petrifying on her part. You would know, because you never know who you're going to meet. Some of these people are coming off the pub hours. They stay the extra hour just to get a bit of a meal. And if they're drunk, they could cause a bit of a nuisance, or they could come across to a lady as being threatening, perhaps not to me. I'm a big lad, but to a lot of young ladies or other ladies. They can be a little bit. People when they're drunk, they're quite different. That's my personal experience from in the restaurant. People change when they drink. Believe me, you won't even recognize them. They were one day when they come in, they're your friend. When they leave, they're not your friend. Those are basically my concern. I mean, it's a highly densely popular. It's all been said. I'm afraid I had a list to say, but everyone has said it. It is a highly dense, highly densely populated area, and those roads, the off roads, they're just as densely populated. They're not all homes, they're flats and everything. So have a bit of a consideration, please. At the minute, I mean, Northern Road, bit of a Northern roast. I mean, we just have takeaway after takeaway. Before we become Northern Rogue, let's just put a stop to the opening hours. 11 is like, I think from my point of view, is more than enough. And thank you very much for listening to me. You've been wonderful.
Thank you so
Cheers.
much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Now we have Charlotte, and Charlotte, you have 50 minutes because you have 9 people to speak on behalf. Please, let's not have repetition of what that has been already been said. Please, can I ask that? Now, Charlotte, 50 minutes.
Okay, well, I'm going to take 30 seconds. You'll be pleased to hear. Because
Thank
you've
you.
told me that you've read all of our evidence. You can recite it.
We have read
Realize
every
what
evidence.
we've put
We
together
have.
here for you as committee members, how we've been advised, what we've written and spent days and weeks on. And it's all here just for the committee, nobody else. And there's a lot here to discuss. But I take it that you don't really want to hear from people tonight. So I will ask you to reject the application based on our submissions in the agenda pack, in supplementary agenda A, B, C, and D. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you so much for that. We have read those papers and we have heard what others have said. Now we are going to hear from the ward councillors as well. So we have Councillor Wobo to speak. You have 5 minutes, Councillor.
Good evening, Chair. I, again, won't take very long because just to avoid repetition, but I'm just going to read from what I wrote, I'm afraid. What I wrote was, a 2 p.m. finish time is not appropriate for licensable activities in a mixed-use area that is, in reality, overwhelmingly residential. Residents in my ward, Walham Green, have consistently raised concerns about late-night food provision, including takeaways and deliveries, and the public nuisance this creates, contrary to the licensing objectives. Noise from customers gathering outside, groups passing through in the early hours, and the comings and goings of delivery drivers all contribute to significant disturbance. And I do not believe this application adequately addresses or mitigates those impacts. That's what I have to say, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor. We have another ward councillor who is going to speak in, and he's going to be speaking on behalf of another ward councillor, which is Panta, which was knocked at the door, as was said. So is going to be representing Councillor Kelly, is going to be representing her. He has I said 10 minutes. Councillor Kelly, I'm going to give you 15 minutes because you're going to speak on your behalf, you're going to speak on Councillor Panta's behalf, and you're going to speak on part of Christina as well. So you have 15 minutes.
Brilliant, thank you. I promise I won't take all of the 15 minutes on this very hot day. So the first thing I want to say is that myself and Councillor Painter had received an awful lot of residential and resident concern about this application, specifically relating to how late these licensing hours were going to be. Most of this has already been said, so I'm just going to essentially highlight some of the core issues that I think are here. Mainly the fact that this is going to increase the amount of litter and waste, both from patrons of the restaurant as well as delivery drivers. I think another thing that's been important to note is the parking use for these delivery drivers that has indeed often taken up pedestrian pathways, as well as can just be a general nuisance for people who need wheelchairs or perhaps have buggies or prams as well. On top of this fact, it is a highly residential, yes, mixed use area, but it is adjoining onto highly dense, highly residential area. And this level of noise, both from delivery drivers as well as just the general comings and goings of the shop itself, means that it can be quite difficult for residents to have that peace and quiet that they need for sleep, alongside just generally living quite nicely in a nice peaceful neighborhood. And as such, that is why I'm making my representation against this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor. Now we have the applicant, and the applicant, I'm going to allow you an hour, 10 minutes. So,
Yeah, sorry, with the revised speaking time and with several residents not being on the call, I've calculated that that should be 45 minutes in total.
Okay. The applicant, you have 45 minutes. Okay. Mr. Kane?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, good evening to everyone. I'm not really going to take that long. In the objection of the noise and nuisance, some people said it will be like extract fan and AC vents. For the extract fan, we have already booked an engineer for the silencer. There is a one extra device which will silence the extract fan noise. So it will book for the inspection on 3rd of July. So it might be on place before we get the approval. And for the AC vent, I hope it will, there is something device like that, so we will use that one as well. And for the delivery of the stuff for the at night, so we won't get any delivery in the night time. All our deliveries will be made after 10 o'clock in the morning. It's scheduled like that. So we have informed all the, not for this application, but from the first day of the shop started, we have placed them to deliver all the stuff after 10 o'clock in the morning. So there is no late night deliveries. There might be a noise of I think it's for my thinking, there might be the delivery, or not the delivery, but bin collections are come after 12 o'clock, so there might be a noise like a truck noise, engine noise and things. For the delivery drivers, all delivery partners, they have a policy to for the drivers to, they need to read the policies, and they need to give the small, like not the exams, but the policies they need to read, and they need to accept the policies. So they will already giving them the delivery partners are already giving them a training to not to disturb the neighbors and everything. And for that, we will also put some banners everywhere around the shops to leave the property politely. And we will, our staff will advise them, and we will observe them regularly. So if there is anything, we will try our best to do that. As this is the busy road, so the noise of the engines and is continuously on the road. And for some like yeah, so we have in place CCTV cameras for safety, and it's a audio visual camera as well. So if anything happens, we can provide footages to the local authority or a police, or member of the police, when it will be requested. Our staff we are giving the training to staff for the ask them to leave the premises politely, so no one will be disturbed. My aim is not to put the more trouble in the area, but I will try my best to help the people around as well. I'm not my only concern is to put them in a trouble. Okay, so one of them is said there is a one road the delivery drivers are using for the toilets and things. Yeah, but in addition to that, I want to say like we have in-house toilet for drivers and customers as well. So I don't think so. And as someone said, business can't control the third party contractors, right? Yeah, I know business can't control, but the third party contractors, whichever they're controlling, like a delivery partner, Uber Eats or Deliveroo, Just Eat, they have a policy in place for the drivers, and we will inform the delivery partners as well. We are running this shop for the uh, in the local area or residential area, so they will be asked they need to ask the drivers to leave the premises politely. And on the our restaurant page we will put the notice for them as well, so they if they want to take the order they need to leave the premises politely. And if sometimes it happens, not everyone is same, but if someone is not following the policies, then we can't control them, but we can report them to the delivery partner, and we can ask them to not to send for our orders next time, or there is options to block them, or we can report them and they will take the actions. We can't take any actions for them, but as they are connected with third party, so they can take the actions. Okay, for the antisocial behavior and things like that, as I said, there is a CCTV, high definition CCTV is already installed over there, and it's all audio visuals. And for the weekends, there is a pub next to on the northern road is open, so it's not about only if we are open or not, but the drunk people are on the road because there is a pub. So when the pub is closed, they most of them will pass from the road, so it's not I don't think it's just for the shop. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
You have finished?
Yes, please.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Now, can I ask committee members to ask questions of any party about application and issues that has been raised at the hearing in relation to 4 licensing objectives: the prevention of crime and disorder, public safety, prevention of public nuisance, protection of children from harm. So committee members, any questions? Councillor Wesley Hackett.
Thank you, Chair. Can I just begin with something that a number of people have raised? The area has been described as residential. I do know North End Road and the streets around it, so I'm well aware of what the position is. But in terms of the policy, a number of people describe it as a purely residential area. Others have said mixed use area. And obviously, when we're looking at what is the council policy, it depends on which of those two categories it falls into. So could somebody, Lorna probably, clarify that for me?
I would clarify that it's a mixed use area. I don't know, Adrian, obviously I know you're representing the licensing authority, if you would agree on that from the licensing perspective.
Yeah, if it helps, Councillor, I would agree that it's also a mixed use area. I mean, what we don't have in our policy is a map, and it sort of definitively shows a boundary between mixed use and residential areas. So on occasion, I think it is just up to officers to interpret that. But my interpretation is because you've got the commercial element of the buildings, offering licensable activities, and then you've got the residential areas directly behind that. You would therefore call that mixed use. But that was just my interpretation, and obviously Lorna's interpretation when processing the application as well.
Okay, thank you. Where have I got to? There's various people have mentioned problems with the delivery drivers rudeness and litter and so on. How much, and in particular, there's a mention about the number of issues raised, etc. How much of this can actually be attributed directly to Amigos? I don't know who's able to answer that. Maybe it's a number of residents who spoke.
Sorry.
Rose. Sorry.
Who would you like to answer you, Wesley?
Sorry, can I hear the question again? Just one more time, please.
Yeah. A number of you as residents have raised quite legitimately the issue of noise, deliveries, etc., litter from that, and antisocial behaviour, people urinating, etc., etc., etc.
Oh, yes.
Which is obviously not acceptable. I'm not in any way condoning that, but I want to try and find out how much of that is directly related to this particular premises, Amigos, as opposed to be it McDonald's, Kentucky Fried, or Morley's, whoever else is in the area.
This I wouldn't know. I really can't tell you, because you never know who walks down your road and where they're coming from. Basically, it could be from a number of outlets. But it could. What we're saying is, if everyone else is shut and somewhere's open till 1 a.m., then it's obviously will come from them. Someone will walk through to get to somewhere else. Through, I mean, some of the delivery drivers would use as a shortcut just to get through, which basically they do. The delivery drivers that pass through Haldane Road, as an example, they're not only delivering from McDonald's, they're delivering from a number of outlets. So you can well imagine, sometimes they stop in the middle of the road, they start chatting on their phone, they have urinated, they have smoked various stuff and put it on the road. So I can't pinpoint to say this guy's coming from McDonald's or anywhere else. So from that point of view, fine, it's not within our immediate vicinity, but they are there. If that makes any sense.
No, that makes sense. Rose.
Sorry, Wesley. Sorry, Councillor Wesley. I think John wants to say something.
I've got questions for him as well in a minute.
Okay, but maybe he raised his hands to respond to your first question.
I can answer that one on behalf of the noise team. Basically, right now, we don't receive complaints regarding the delivery drivers after 23 hours because the premises closed at that time. But it's likely that if they carry on working after those hours, we are going to start receiving complaints about the delivery. This is the more common source of complaints that we get.
Yeah, and you I don't want to lose my previous point, and I've noted that Rose, you actually said at one point the various problems are not all Amigos. Could you expand on that a little, perhaps? You're on mute. You're still on mute. Sorry, Rose, you're on mute. I can't hear you. I haven't heard a word of that. We've all done it, don't worry.
Sorry. I think the issue would be that if it was just Amigos open at these late hours, I don't think this would be the problem. It's because there are so many other places open at the same time, and we've got very small pavement. Well, you know the North End Road. You know exactly what the issues are. There's very limited parking, and sometimes you get a lot of bikes together in one go. Can I say they're all from Amigos? No. But you have got to think about, if it was just Amigos, we would know it was from Amigos. But it's the cumulative effect of all of these bikes. And they do travel up and down because there's nowhere for them to park. Having said that, they do park on the pavements and they do park on the roads as well. But they would go up to near Haldane Road because there's an actual proper parking place in Tournai, for example. So the honest answer is I can't say it's all from Amigos, but you've got to consider that the bikes are all together in one small place. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you. John, you mentioned there'd been 309 complaints coming from North End Road. How many of those relate to Amigos?
How many of them are related to Amigos? 3 of them. And the complaints are relating to the Structa fan.
To the?
Structa fan. The ventilation system.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see, Mr. Kenny, there's something you wanted to add. You mentioned that the extractor fan was under repair. Is that correct? I've seen the video of it, and you know, it is obviously noisy. Is that being undertaken?
Yes, it's not just because of this application. We have got the complaint before. That's why we have got the solution, and we are trying to put the silencer. There is one external device we can put at the end of the extractor fan, so it will reduce the noise.
Okay, thank you. I think, Chair, that's as much from me for the moment.
Okay. Councillor Stanton, do you have any question?
Thank you, Chair. Councillor Harcourt has actually, I think, answered most of my questions. I did want to ask, I think it was Jan who seemed to be the most affected by the noise of the fan, if the comments from the applicant regarding this new piece of kit has helped him in any way.
Jan's off the call now, Chair.
Oh, Jan's now off the call, is he? Okay, fine. Well, in which case, I won't ask that question. So just a couple of questions really to the applicant. And I'm just going to clarify. So currently the application is requesting late night refreshments for on-premises consumption until midnight. Yes, that's correct. Either the applicant or Lorna can answer that. Yeah, okay,
yeah, that's correct,
yes.
Councillor.
And then deliveries until, what is it, 2 a.m. I think.
1 a.m. on Sunday to Thursday, and then 2 a.m. on a Friday and a Saturday.
That's it. So I've got a new notebook and I've missed a page. Yes, that's right. I have written that down. Okay. Super. So just to understand your business a little bit more, I'd say obviously, as the residents have all said, and my two colleagues have said, you know, we are all local. We do all know the area and the North End Road very, very well. So in particular, with regards to your premises, what the committee, or certainly I would like to understand, is what sort of volume of trade you actually do at that sort of time of night. Now, I appreciate that you know you're not open at that time now, but what is your anticipated sort of volume? What sort of volume do you do, for example, currently between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. both on premises and also in terms of deliveries?
Okay, in on premises, we have 2 less customers from between 10 to 11. Right? Is the most of going? So it's just on an average 2 customers.
2 customers in an hour.
Yeah, on an average, on premises.
Okay, and then
delivery, it might be more. I haven't averaged it, but it's I can say it like 8 to 10.
8 to 10.
Yeah.
And how long have you? Am I right that where you are used to be was it Nando's before? Am I thinking the right premises? No. Okay. How long has? Well, someone can answer this. And how long has Amigos been where running where it is now?
It's like we have been running this shop from like 2 years, more than 2 years.
It's 2 years. Okay.
Yeah, and one more thing I want to add: if we are going to approve, we have put some policies in the place, and we are thinking like we have some sitting area in the basement as well, right? So for the noise disruption, we are trying to put ask them to sit in the basement, so it won't make the noise on the ground floor. So the people are living upstairs, they won't be affected.
But I think the noise is more people coming in and going out. So the fact that they'll be in the basement, I don't think would make any difference if I've heard you correctly. So I have a fan going because it's stopping me from melting, and it's a slightly crackly line. So did I hear you correctly that you were saying that people would be
Yes.
seated downstairs? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
No, that's fine. So you're saying that you. So what would you anticipate? Because obviously, you know, you've got additional staff costs and related costs, and to open for an extra 2 or 3 hours for kind of 10 or 12 customers and maybe 20 deliveries doesn't necessarily sound as if it will be kind of a financially viable reason for doing it. So what is your anticipated numbers between 11 and 12 and then the later hours for deliveries?
For the staff member?
No, the number of deliveries. You know, how many customers do you think you'll be selling both on premises between 11 and 12, and how many deliveries do you think you'll be taking?
No,
I mean, I know that there's another Amigos sorry, going to stop for 1 second. I know that there's another Amigos in Shepherd's Bush, so who also take deliveries through the third-party apps, Uber, Just Eat, etc. So I don't know if you happen to know what sort of volume they do, which might give us an indication as to what sort of volume you might do.
I'm not expecting that much volume of the customers, which one you said, because it's a bit quiet after 10 o'clock. So I don't think that much in-house, but yeah, it might be 20 to around 20 for the like a online delivery.
Is that an hour or in total for the evening?
In total for the after hours, like after we are requesting after 11 o'clock, right?
So 10 an hour, 1 every 6 minutes. Okay, fine, thank you. I think, and you say that there was a waiting area for the drivers. Did I hear you correctly?
Yes, yeah, there is it's a corner shop, so the in front of the shop there is a zigzag line, so no one is allowed to stop there. After the zigzag line there is a bus stop, so no one going to stop in the bus stop as well. So in the next street there is a parking area for the market traders, right? So might they need to park there because they are not allowed to park on the zigzag line or the bus stop.
So that really is actually one of the questions that I was leading to. So that next road is, I think, Shorrells. Yes. So you're suggesting that the delivery drivers park around the corner on the residential street?
Not the residential street. This shop is corner shop, so we have a both side for the display and our shops, right? So on the main, not on the main road, on the side road. But the premises residents are quite far, like 30 meters, and
I mean,
about the shops.
I'm looking at it right now on Google Maps for anybody who wishes to do the same. And the houses and I know there are flats certainly towards the end are much closer than 20 to 30 yards. But okay, I take that point. I think, let me just quickly check my notes, Chair. I think, given that Councillor Harcourt had answered my questions, actually, no, I did have one question, and this is for Mr. Garcia of Noise and Nuisance. You said that 3 of the 309 complaints received last year related to Amigos, and that they were all with relation to the fan. Can I ask you what action your team have taken with regards to that?
Okay, the date that we received that complaint was the 18th of February 2026. We received a report that the fan was causing a nuisance, lot of noise, to a neighbor who lives nearby. We arranged a visit. We visited the landlord of the property, and then we checked that the noise was audible inside his bedroom. At the time that we visit was 8 p.m., 8:24. It was, according to the officer who attended on that day, was not a statutory nuisance, but they say that it's likely to be a nuisance after 11 p.m. when the people are trying to sleep. With that evidence, we approached the manager of the shop and we told them to service the extractor fan. Since that day, we didn't receive any other complaint regarding the fan. It means for us the problem was sorted.
Okay, so the fact that you've not received a subsequent complaint suggests to you that there was nothing to complain about, whereas it could just be that the complainant, having complained to you, thought that you might be.
That is correct. That is correct. We didn't hear about him until the 6th of May when. Yeah.
So and Mr. Kenny has actually told us that he is on the 3rd of July installing some new quieter equipment. Has he been in touch with you with regards to that? I mean, are you aware of this, or were you aware of it before today?
The noise and nuisance team are not aware of anything.
Okay, no. Fine.
The only communication that we received was from the complainant. He contacted with us the 6th of May, asking us to object the application.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. And so just to clarify, when the original complaint was made, subsequent to that complaint, you didn't find a statutory nuisance. However, you did think that there would be a nuisance after 11 p.m. and you relayed this to the applicant.
Yes, we went to the shop. My colleagues went to the shop, and then we advised the manager or the person in the shop that they need to do the service to the extractor fan.
Okay.
And as a result, we didn't receive any subsequent complaint.
Okay, fine. Thank you. I think thank you very much. That's really helpful. I'm just checking my notes. No, Chair, I don't have anything else just now. If I do think of anything, I'll certainly put my hand up.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Glenn, can I ask you what assessment have you done in terms of people that the impact the opening till that late hour will have on the residents? What assessment have you done? Have you done any assessment to know the impact, what will happen to the residents, the ones above your restaurant?
Yes, we have inspected that, and for that we have started train our staff for the noise for the noise, like they are taking the training to reduce the noise and convince the customers or the delivery drivers. And we have spoken to the delivery partners, and in that conversation we have found that they have a policy for the to leave the premises politely. They have a policy in place for the drivers, and they can just add instruction over the when they get the orders. They can find the information what you need to follow, like where is the pickup area, where they can pick up the orders. So we have discussed with them, they can put the notice on that, so they need to be quiet and they just need to leave the premises quietly.
You keep telling me about your partner. What of you? What have you done? What will you do in case of the noise coming from those people? How will you stop them?
No, we have. Okay, we will try to convince them to just stop the noise, and our staff is trained. Whoever is working after late hours, we will make sure until and unless if we will get the approach, we will make sure before we starting in operation of the hours in operation, we will make sure the staff are fully trained.
So is your staff now trained? How many staff have you trained?
One, and two more are in process. They are taking the training.
How many staff do you have already? And how many staff will you have for the night?
You want me to say a full number of staff?
Sorry?
Is it two staff?
Two staff.
Two staff for the night.
Two staff for the night.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Why do you want to open up to 2 o'clock on a
residential
area? What do you want? Why do you want to open till that long hour on a residential place? Why do you want to open that late hour? I know you said yeah. Why?
Yeah, so just we are trying to deliver the food and increase the number of the food delivery.
But have you taken a risk assessment of the impact this long hour will have on the residents live above? I know you mentioned basement. Have you taken risk assessment about the basement as well?
Yes.
And what was the assessment? What was it? How will you ensure that the customers that come at that time, that your drivers will live quietly without making noise on those areas, on around their premises? And how will you challenge people
we will
that
convince them?
Huh? How?
Okay, we will challenge, like we can report them to the police, or if the delivery drivers, then we can report them to the third party contractors or delivery partners. So we can report them then, with their name and things, so they might not get the deliveries from our store in the next time if they are not following the policies.
So you're telling me if you have antisocial behavior happening at your doorstep, how will you address it?
Yeah. Our staff is trained, so they can try to address it, but otherwise, if not, if it is worse, then they will contact the police, and we can happy to provide the evidence, like there is a CCTV, audio-visual CCTV installed over there.
Okay. I had one of the residents saying that some people eat on the doorsteps. How do your staff go about with rubbish being left around the premises? What do you do? What do your staff do?
Okay. For around the premises, I can say that our staff will be taking the care of before the closing. They will take care about the around premises, right? But and we will make sure to they will continue monitoring the CCTV. If they found that anything like that, they can request them to, if they want, they can eat inside. If it's after hours, so they only needs to leave the nearby premises. If it's before 12 o'clock, we can request them to come inside and have their food.
Okay, we have Councillor Harcourt put his hands up. Councillor Harcourt.
Thank you. Just one very final question, which is from me, which is about your delivery drivers, the ones who deliver later in the night. What do they use? Do they use motor scooters? Do they use electric bikes? Do they use manual cycles? Do they use cars? Can you tell me?
It depends, because it's a third-party contractor, so it depends. Some of them is using motorcycle, or some of them is using electric or manual bicycle.
Yeah. And what have you said to this third-party provider? Have you actually spoken to them and say you want electric bikes or something similar used because they're quiet?
Yes. Yeah, we can request that as well, because there is an option, everything we can handle. So there is a completely, they have different parts like a motorbike, bicycle, car. So whatever the orders they got, like if the order is far away, then they will issue it to the motor car or a motorbike. If the order is nearby, they will issue to the manual bicycle or electric bicycle. So we can discuss with them, and we can request that thing as well.
Okay, so I'm not saying this is what we're going to do, but if we added a condition that said all deliveries must be made on an electric bike or scooter or electric or manual cycle, would that cause you a problem?
No.
Okay, thank you.
It's completely fine for me. I will speak with the third parties.
Okay. And your delivery, you mentioned 12 o'clock. I wasn't sure whether it's 12 midnight. You mentioned delivery. So when do you have your main delivery? And when do you have your taken out? When do you have your bin taken out? The morning?
Bin, for the bin, yeah, not in the morning. Bin is collecting after like 12, between 12 to 2. At the moment when we close at 11 o'clock, we will leave it outside of the shop, and they will collect later on.
Okay. So when
our deliveries and the deliveries for our store, like okay, sorry.
So go on.
Okay, deliveries for our store, like a food delivery and packaging deliveries, all deliveries are come after 10 o'clock in the morning, even not before 10 in the morning.
Okay. Okay. Where will your drivers park? The driver deliver the ones that will be collecting food delivery. Where will they be parking? Where will they park?
Oh dear. It's depend at the moment. It depends if they have 2-3 orders together, like it depends which shop another order they got. So sometimes they will park next to the where they can close it, but it's for our shop exactly. It's in the corner. You can see the Sherrod Road.
Yeah, I had Sherrod Road where the
if you can see in
Mr.
the Google,
Yan mentioned it. But that Sherrod Road you are mentioning, a resident lives there, was complaining about the noise coming from them. So how would you control that noise coming from that road? How would you control it?
Okay, so for that, as we discussed before, I will speak with the third party deliveries, called delivery companies, and I'll recruit them just for the electric bike or the manual bicycles.
Can they sit in your restaurant instead of sitting outside? Is it possible?
Yes, they can. If they are waiting for the orders, they can sit.
Yeah, but they'll park out there.
Yeah, but until and unless they have orders in, they can sit inside. Yeah.
I'm the one suggesting that. Okay. Do we have any more questions? Okay. Now we go and sum up. Please, can we sum up in 3 minutes? We have licensing officer, Lona. Have you?
Nothing further to add, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Adrian. You have 3 minutes to sum up.
Thank you, Chair. I don't have much to add, but I do have concerns after listening to the proposals for deliveries, just in terms of the 2 members of staff that apparently are going to be managing the premises later in the evening. I can't see how they can be managing the delivery riders arriving after midnight and checking what they're doing, as well as trying to produce the food and look after customers. So I just have concerns that there's just going to be antisocial behaviour and nuisance and noise created by those delivery drivers arriving there later in the evening, and that it's going to be very difficult for them to try and mitigate that. And I don't really think there's been a proper management plan put in place to try and manage that. I just think they basically thought they want the later hours and then come what may, so to speak. So I think that needs to be looked at carefully and be considered. And then just in relation to cumulative impact, that was mentioned earlier on in the evening. Our policy does mention cumulative impact, but just to clarify again, we don't have a cumulative impact policy. What we can take into account is just the number of premises generally in an area, but we can't think of it in the terms of cumulative impact, if you like. But no, nothing else from me. My main concerns are really about the deliveries, and I think that the hours should at least be restricted to the hours in our statement of licensing policy for mixed use areas. Nothing else. Thank you.
Thank you, Adrian. And we have John. John, we have 3 minutes, please.
Yes, after hearing all of the statement of the applicant, I'm quite confident that the mitigation plan doesn't fulfill our requirements. And then it is more likely that we are going to have noise complaints from these premises, from all of the sources, deliveries, people going in and out, and the extractor fan or AC units. And then it supports more my objection to say that the license needs to stay until 23 hours. That's it from me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have residents to objection. Charles, could you help me by?
Yes, Chair. The first 4 people on your list aren't actually on the call anymore. So that's Jan down to Kemper. So the first person to sum up would be Antoinette.
Okay, Antoinette, you have 3 minutes. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry. Sorry, can't see me. Just it doesn't sound as though he's taken enough care and consideration for the residents. And my objections still remain. I also forgot to add in my statement when I was speaking that I also have 2 dogs that I walk, and I walk them late at night. I walk them at odd hours, not a regular pattern, irregular hours. And it is, and I've also come back from late at night from being out visiting friends or meeting girlfriends. And it is intimidating coming back, because I do see the delivery drivers, they don't take their helmets off when they go into the shops to pick up their orders. And it is intimidating as a single woman walking by myself. I feel a lot safer when I have my dogs. So yeah, I'm not happy seeing this application and the fact that the cumulative effect that we always seem to be battling with all these applications. So I don't know if that helps. Sorry.
Thank you. It does help. Thank you. Now we have Rose, and Rose, you have 12 minutes.
Well, I'm not going to take. Okay,
No,
can you hear?
Can you
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Right. Oh, let me see. I've made some notes. I suppose, in summary, really, I think this application is fundamentally incompatible with our residential area. I'll go back to it again. Policy 3 makes clear that late night takeaways are just not appropriate here, and residents already face proven nuisance from the delivery drivers anyway. Extending hours would inevitably increase noise, disturbance, and more antisocial behavior. And the applicant really hasn't demonstrated any credible way to prevent this. Appendix 1 shows that the applicant did not proactively identify or mitigate the risks of this location, and the detailed conditions were only added after police intervention. I know I've just heard from Adrian that the cumulative impact isn't considered, but it is real, and the council's own commitments to protect residential streets must carry weight. So for these reasons, I firmly ask the committee to refuse this application and keep the hours. Well, in an ideal world, the residents would like it all to be at 11.
Okay, thank you. Can I have Mr. Sharama? You have 3 minutes to sum up. Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
Basically, going back to what he was saying about litter. I mean, he can't, unless he has a litter team who goes out there halfway down a road. There's no guarantee when they finish the food and how they're going to dispose of it. Because we don't have any bins on our streets, so they just dispose of their stuff on the road. There's no guarantee that those drivers are going to use. I mean, he's talking about a third party. Literally, they have a job controlling their drivers. Every 2 seconds you go on Uber, you see complaint after complaint after complaint. He can't control that. He can't control the litter. I'm not being disrespectful to him. Having been in business, it's once people leave your premises, it's very difficult to actually tell them what to do, what not to do. That is all. It's just whatever surrounding this thing. Also, one last thing I forgot. If it's open till late, instead of like people going to like Amigos in says Shepherd's Bush and they're going to say Wimbledon, instead of taking a detour, it'll get known that this Amigo is also open at 12. So they'll come there instead. So it's not like the local people. There'll be people passing through. They gotta park their car to get their food and stuff. That's it, really. It's just, there are many grounds you can object to this, but those three that he actually talked about, there's no way on earth he can actually control that. It's impossible. That's personal experience. 21 years in restaurant. Sorry, I'll close there. Carry on.
Thank you so much. Now, Charlotte, you have 9 people. You have 30 minutes. Please.
Yes, I'd like to first clarify something, that the video that you saw and the questions asked about the noise behind Amigos, and that complaint is on page 154, which you've read in the agenda pack. So just to pull it all together, that's from Sean Campion. He lives there, and he has a flat there at 350, so right next door. So, and he explains in there that things have not, been resolved. I mean, he doesn't report that they've been resolved, and I've spoken with him twice, including yesterday, to ask if anything new has been resolved or he's been contacted by the premises owner. And he said, no, he hasn't. So I hope that clarifies that. As far as the idea of e-bikes and e-scooters, I've looked this up now, perhaps you have as well. And it says that with Deliveroo as well as Uber Eats, I looked up both individually, you cannot natively restrict delivery partners to only e-bikes or e-scooters through the Uber Eats merchant app. And you can't do it with Deliveroo either. Uber Eats manager portal does not allow you to filter or lock in a specific vehicle type for individual orders. And it also mentions here that under UK law, private e-scooters are illegal on public roads and footpaths. Only Transport for London rental e-scooters with Dot, Lime, and Voy, and Forest, and those types of things are street legal. So that's helpful, I think, to everybody tonight in thinking about these possibilities. Beyond that, Mr. Scolding, whom I'm representing, has just sent me something, so I'll just read it. It's 2 sentences. Economic arguments cut both ways. Yes, businesses are having it tough, but so are residents. And he's referring here to Section 182 Guidance 1.17 and 1.18, the new guidance that asks you to please look at the local plan and to look at business opportunities and so on. So he says, many residents take second jobs to keep up with inflation and the cost of living, to buy food for families. Many go without insurance. Many are suffering from no real increases in wages. Many have to do shift work. And many of these need those quieter nighttime hours for sleep, which is just as important for shift workers as any hour of the day, depending on their shift. And he therefore is very concerned about the balance that this committee has to find between the request of an applicant and what the applicant is prepared to do, has told you what he will do, what he won't do, what he can do, what he thinks he might be able to do, and the actual reality on the ground. So he asks that you reject the license application because there isn't enough evidence that all of these things that have been asked about tonight are actually ready to be resolved and won't be a problem anywhere. So I'll just sum up the same way that I started. We've spent a lot of energy preparing what we understand now is and will become very, very acute, that only what is in the agenda pack and the supplementals will be used at any other stage to assess what decisions were taken, et cetera. And so we're preparing for that as these applications continue to come in. We believe that we're in a very interesting, wonderful corner of Fulham that needs to be protected in many ways. Councillors are protecting us by making sure that people like this Sean Campion pays a levy of £625 a year as a, quote, special license to give to the council this levy, because the council needs money to clean streets and deal with ASB on 24 defined streets. You can look that up, you know, yourself. We didn't add it to the pack this time because last time it was confusing to people. They thought it was a different kind of license. It's a levy, basically. It's a tax. It's something that landlords have to pay on 24 roads because there's evidence that's been gathered that these 24 roads have excessive antisocial behavior. They have excessive litter. They have excessive problems with parking and all kinds of things. So that £625 goes towards funding services of the council that then help us try to keep North End Road as clear and as clean and as nice as possible. So we love the old North End Road street market. Our wonderful MP loves it too, and he did a lot to improve things, and we thank councillors for setting aside money to improve the street market and to help us keep this a wonderful residential area that has commercial shops at street level and residences above, behind, next to, right, left, center, and across. And that's why we see it very much as a residential area. And we want to work in that direction as you develop a new policy. Your policy ends in 2027. And we want to define this area and other areas in Hammersmith and Fulham as well that are very, very residential in nature, and they need more, they need to work with the 4 licensing objectives in a way that they don't go to rack and ruin, basically. And we know that that's possible, and we want to work with you as we are today and as we will in the future. So we thank you for your time, and we ask you to please reject it this time, this application again, based on everything that you've heard, which was everything that you've read already, as you told us, but also based on the previous decision, which is now a material consideration legally for you because it's there, it's in the public domain, and it was not appealed. So it's your decision, and it's material consideration that can be considered and must be considered and mentioned in your decision tonight. So please refuse the application and help us keep North End Road what it's meant to be. Residential, street market, lots going on during the day, early evening, and quieter as the night goes on, as we were promised by our councillors, the peace and quiet of North End Road. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you. Now we had the word councillors. Can I have Councillor Mobo? You have 3 minutes to sum up.
Sorry, I'm just turning off the fan because it's a bit noisy. Yeah, all I'm going to say is that I'm going to uphold my objection. I can't, in good faith, go back to the residents who are representing Walham Green Ward, or indeed in the neighbouring ward, Lily Ward, and say to them that I'm satisfied with what Mr. Kenny has said tonight. I don't know what else to say, really. I just feel like a lot of the things he said were reactive more than proactive. I mean, even some of the questions that were asked of him tonight, I felt like he reacted to them tonight. So I'm just not convinced that that he's mitigated enough, really. So yes, I'll be upholding my objection.
Thank you. We have Councillor Kelly. Is he here?
Oh, sorry. I'm just going to give his apologies on his behalf. He has another meeting which started at 8.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Now we have the applicant. Applicant, you have
He would have about 25 minutes, Chair, based on the speaking time that the objectors have had.
Okay. So the applicant, you have 25 minutes, you said?
Yes,
Yes,
Chair, 25
minutes.
Yeah, as per I heard the objections, I would like to say the thing is the person said I can't control everything and I can't go send the staff to the half of the way for the collecting of the bin and things. So yeah, I'm agree with them. I can't control, but I can try my best to help everyone and not make the nuisance over the premises. And one more thing, if I can't, I know I can't control. As he said, some of them I can't control. Some of them I can. I can try like the things. So I can suggest if you, I will. I'm happy to reduce the hours as requested. Like instead of 2 o'clock, I'm happy to be till 1 o'clock. Right, and the thing is, if it's about the rubbish, if it's about the rubbish, I can say that we will keep the eating for till 11 o'clock, and then after there is a no personal takeaway, but just Uber or online platforms delivery only. So there will be the only users will be the delivery partners, not the public. So public car, we can close for the takeaway as well for the public, whoever is ordered for the takeaway. Whoever wants the food, they needs to be at the delivery at the home or some kind of place, but no, they can't come and collect the food. So I can place that policy as well after 11 o'clock. Yeah, that's all.
Sorry, can I just clarify? I also had the fan a bit too loud. So just to repeat to the members when they deliberate. So you are saying you are happy to reduce the late night refreshment hours to 1 a.m.? You said?
Yes, Sam.
You are happy to keep the rubbish or to take the rubbish out after 11 p.m. or keep them inside? Sorry, I didn't get that.
No, not about the rubbish. The person concerned like that. If the people take away the food and when they finish the food, they will throw the food on the pavement or things like. So I can't control that. So after 11 o'clock, I will stop the takeaway foods. So it's only the delivery by application. So they need to order to deliver to their home or specific location.
So not allow customer to come in after 11.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. The committee now will retire to take its decision in a separate room. You are welcome to remain in the meeting to hear committee's decision. However, this might take some time. If you do not want to wait, a summary decision will be published on Council's website tomorrow morning. Can I ask councillors to mute their phone and join me in the deliberation room? Thank you. Okay. Charles, is everybody in?
Everyone that needs to be on the call is. The applicant is on the call, but he's still on the call, but as I say, he's got his camera turned off at the moment.
Okay.
Oh, he's just joined us, Chair. So that's fine. You, as I say, you've explained there'll be a summary decision tomorrow, but the applicant's here, so you can proceed with the decision.
Okay. What of Edrin? He's gone. Okay. Summary decision of the License Subcommittee, 24th June 2026. Amigo Burgers and Shakers, 352 North End Road, SW6 1NB. The committee has considered an application for the grant of a premises license under the License Act 2003 for provision of late night refreshment indoors only. The application, in summary, the committee has decided, after taking into account all the individual circumstances of this case and the promotion of 4 licensing objectives, to reject the application. A copy of this committee's full decision, including its reasons, will be sent to parties forthwith. If applicant or any person who has made a relevant representation is unhappy with the decision, they are entitled to appeal to Magistrate Court within 21 days from the date of notification of the full decision. Thank you everyone for watching, and thank you for attending.